Hello, researchers. Welcome to Business Research. Today's topics: framework of the study, importance of the study, and scope and delimitation of the study. Are you ready for the new topics? But before that, let's have first our reminders. Listen carefully, attentively, and with comprehension. For your attendance, type in your complete name in the comment box or below this video, plus your second top positive manifestation, and make a screenshot. Save it. It will be attached to the G class, and give a thumbs up to the video. Make sure you have your attention in the discussion and answer the questions being asked. Questions can be flashed or verbally asked. So make sure you have your attention. Screenshots. All screenshots will be attached to our Google Classroom as your proof of attending or watching the online class. From doing so, time and date will appear and I can monitor. Attach it in the label Meeting 002, Framework, Importance, Scope, and Delimitation. Submission of the attachment for today's meeting 002, if submitted outside a given date, there will be a 50% deduction. Better submit it on or before March 25, 2023. Discussion proper. Are you ready? Okay, now let's have the framework of the study. Framework of the study can be organized theoretically and conceptually. It serves as your groundwork or structure for the remainder of your research, assisting you in determining the most appropriate methodology and strategies to use in your study. This serves as guidance for essential aspects of the research design, such as data collection, processing, presentation, and interpretation of findings. So, means once you reach on your chapter 3 results and discussion, what theories you have included in the theoretical framework will guide you in the discussion of the results. According to Maxwell 2004, this framework explains why the problem exists. This is valuable for these following reasons. It helps the researcher see variables of the study. And when we say variables of the study, in research, it refers to a person, place, thing, or phenomenon that you are trying to measure in some way. Framework of the study also provide a general framework for data analysis. We say data analysis, these are logical techniques to describe, illustrate, and recap and also evaluate data which you are going to make in your chapter 3, the results and discussion. So you are going to refer in your theoretical framework, and with this it will serve as your guide in your data analysis, in the evaluation of your data, in the results and discussion. It is essential in preparing a research proposal using a descriptive and experimental methods, also including there the developmental methods. So a reminder for framework of the study is that in crafting your proposal, you must first select a relevant or related theory to conduct your study. So if your study is about developing a food product, then it should include a theory about sensory evaluation. Sensory evaluation includes the sense of taste, the aroma, the texture, the appearance, and so on. Therefore, when you are researching your problem, you should ask yourself these questions. Is there a theory or a variation of some data to which my study has reference? Another is, will my study test a theory? So does it test a theory empirically, or Your study might revise a theory or modify a theory or extend a theory? Or will it create or generate a theory? So, take note of those. You should ask yourself those following questions when researching your problem. That's why, again, you must first select a relevant or related theoretical framework or theories to conduct your study. Okay, question in this particular topic. How important is the framework of the study? Let me know your answer in the comment. Okay, so now let me show you examples of framework of the study. Okay, this one is a sample of the framework of the study, specifically theoretical framework. Okay, since framework of the study can be presented into theoretically or conceptually. So this is the theoretical framework of the study sample. So from the sample, the research is about developing a food product, food innovation. So the theory they use is the sensory evaluation. And it states there by Seidel and Stone, 1993, sensory evaluation has been defined as a scientific discipline used to evoke, measure, analyze, and interpret those responses to products as perceived through the senses of sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. Each aspect in this definition has a specific meaning, requirement, or implication, and so on. So you're gonna include the definition of each variables. So now, if you remember, the theoretical framework is valuable for the reasons as it helps researchers see the variables of the study. So the theory is the sensory evaluation by Seidel and Stone, 1993. The variables of these theories are the sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. Okay, going again, huh? Let's check again the framework of the study from the previous slide. As you can see, it helps the researcher see the variables of the study. And from the sample, the theory is the sensory evaluation by Seidel and Stone, 1993, and the variables of the sensory evaluation are sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. And is very essential in preparing a research proposal. And since we are doing developmental research, these will going to guide you and support your study. Okay, take note of that. So again, do not forget to select a relevant or related theories to your study. Then from the theory, you acknowledge the authors and the year when it is published, and of course from that theory you can identify the variables. Okay, so now another framework of the study is it can be organized through conceptual framework. So again, in framework of the study, we have the theoretical framework and the conceptual framework. So now I'll be talking about the conceptual framework. Take note, conceptual framework for your research project is something that you create, not something, take note, not something that is discovered. So you create the concept and it integrates, though you create the concept, but still it integrates the elements from other sources. But the structure, the overall coherence, is something you make, not something that already exists. You just jive it or integrate it with other sources. But the concept, the diagram, the flow, you create it. So, there are four primary sources which you might develop your study's conceptual framework. Take note. Number one, your own experiential knowledge. Own knowledge. Experience plus your own knowledge. Then second, established theory and research. So coming from the other authors or existing studies related to what you wanted to study. Another is pilot and exploratory study, the need for further discovery. And the last one is thinking experiments. Thinking experiments. So very exclusive for developmental research. And in presenting your conceptual framework, there should be visual or written products explains either you can present it either graphically, graphics, or diagrams, or in narrative form, or important elements to be examined. And within that diagram are the variables coming from the established theory and research. But you are creating the flow of the framework. Again, in the presentation of the conceptual framework, it could be in diagram or graphically, or yeah, it explains graphically or in diagram or in a narrative form. Let me give you an example of the conceptual framework. Okay, this example is from the sample we had with the sensory evaluation. So as you can see here, there is a connector, there are arrows, there are diagrams, there is a visual presentation. So from this example, the researchers are going to develop tilapia sardines. Tilapia sardines and tilapia sardines because most of the sardines are not tilapia. And since here in the province of Biliran there are lots there is a tilapia farm, so that could be a proof of abundance. And in this study, the researchers will have experimental research. They're going to have treatment 1 and treatment 2. So possible this could be another different grams of different flavors, and this one too. And then using the sensory evaluation, the theory, which these two treatments will go through, the test of the sense of the appearance, the aroma, the taste, the texture, and all the sensory evaluation variables. Okay? And then once they pass through, they could identify what to improve in the tilapia sardines so that they can come up with a developed, improved tilapia sardines. Okay, so that's how you will going to present your conceptual framework in a flow of diagram or graphics. Okay, another example of the conceptual framework. So this one is the development of the blue pea mango smoothie, and then researchers are making a food product that need to develop. So the theory they identified is the sensory evaluation. And then from that, they make a conceptual framework. From this example, they don't have any treatment. They go directly with the developmental research. Because if you have treatments 1, 2, and 3, you are going to an experimental design. But this one, they go directly to a developmental research design. And then they pass through the sensory evaluation and to develop the acceptability of loopy mango smoothie. So all the conceptual framework, graphics, visuals differs from each other depending on how you create it or on how or what kind of roadmap you want your research and what you want to discover. Now let's jump to the importance of the study, the second topic. Importance of the study. This section of the article points out why you believe the proposed study is significant. very important and will make a substantial contribution to the field as a researcher. Also, you have to identify who are those individuals or institutions who will going to benefit your study. Okay, take note ha. In writing your significance of the study or the importance of the study, you have to, as the beginning point, consider your research problem. Your problem statement may contain hints about the conclusion of your research project and who will benefit from it. Another, indicate how your research will contribute to the field's existing body of knowledge. Make sure also you describe how your research address those uncharted, unprivileged territories nga. Those nga wala pa jud matouch. You have to say that no research has been conducted about this specific development. So you can persuade your readers that you are researching something novel. And another to consider is you have to justify your research's value to society. Consider how the results of your research affect a change in your community. Also, consider to mention the specific individuals or organizations or institutions that will benefit from your research. Also, indicate that your study contributes to future research. I'll give you an example of the importance of the study. So from this example, the researchers mention the specific individuals or institutions who are going to benefit the study. And each beneficiary, the researchers explained how each will benefit to the study and what this study could give them. So each beneficiary has a problem faced, but because of this study, it will be solved. And it is always important to include future researchers because your study contributes to the future research of the future researchers. So you could also include there the local farmers if you have stated in your rationale about the abundance of the specific plant as your main ingredient or main source. You also have to put these local farmers who are farming this specific plant in your importance of the study. Also, you need to include the technology transfer agents. It is an institution that will help you develop, improve your product, or it will help you the production of your product and deliver it to the community. Like for example, the DOST or the Department of Science and Technology. Another is the DTI or the Department of Trade and Industry. So these are considered technology transfer agents. They are institutions of the government or could be institutions coming from private to help you about the development of your product to make it into reality. Okay, so another example of the significance of the study. So here, from this example, they identify the online sellers are as their primary beneficiary or recipient of the benefit of this study. So as you observe, the importance of the study is simple to do, but make sure you identify your beneficiary or beneficiaries that are directly affected of the gap and that will use this research or your research to fill in that gap. Okay, so now let's move to the third topic, which is the scope and delimitation of the study. Scope and delimitation of the study here in this section, you have to consider the following parameters. What? The investigation subjects and variables. So this part here, the subject and variables are already mentioned in your rationale, in your objectives, and in your framework of the study. So you already know what needs to be investigated and what are the variables included. And another is where. Where could be the location or context of your study? And then when. You have to know the period covered by the study. It could be 1 year, within 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of study. Why? The general research objectives. So why? So if you go back to your main objective or the general objective, you can identify. Then who? The subject of the study, the population, the sample, the participants. So the participant should be specific. It should not be general. Okay, you have to identify who are your participants, who are the subject of the study, who are this group of people, and the how, the methodology of the research, which may include the research design and the research instrument. Okay, again, reminder on the scope and delimitation of the study. This section, you should when establishing the study's scope and delimitation, mention the characteristics or variables that are not. You also need to mention that are not included and the time frame, the number of the subjects, the participants, or responders who are excluded. So you must be specific in all possible ways. Just follow these parameters, this what, where, when, why, who, how, when making or crafting your scope and delimitation of the study. So you are well guided. Okay, example of that is this study focused on the perception of small and medium enterprises (SME) towards the economic influence of Facebook. The samples were chosen from entrepreneurs who own small and medium business that use Facebook as marketing tool. The respondents of this study were selected entrepreneurs in a Valbelian who represent the population. Okay, question from the example of the scope and delimitation in this screen. What do you think is lacking? Okay, so from the sample, what do you think is lacking? Following these parameters, what do you think is lacking? Okay, so let me know all your answers in the comment. I hope you have learned something in this discussion about the framework of the study, the importance or significance of the study, and the scope and the delimitation of the study. So now before I let this video end, let me give you reminders for life. Here are the reminders for life. Here are the 18 habits that are killing you slowly. Number 1, too less or too much sleep. 2, overuse of medication. Sobra ng atay. 3, skipping exercise. Well, you can do small exercises as long as you do your exercise. Like 5-minute workout or a 10-minute workout, or just by walking or achieving your, if not 10,000 steps, why not 1,000 steps or 5,000 steps in a day? Also, excessive food. Avoid gluttony. Avoid gluttony, guys. Excessive food is not good. Next, lack of social activities. Hey, try to mingle. Mingle positively. No to socialize. It could be online or offline. Hey, you are not alone. So, Please socialize. Next, too much mobile time. Scroll up, scroll down. Hey, please take good care of that beautiful mind. You forgot? You have talents and skills. Use it instead of just scrolling up and down in your mobile phone. Do not box yourself in the four corners of your mobile phone. Use your skills and talents. Next, staying in an unhealthy relationship. Yeah, that's a big no. Move on. Move forward. Next, 80, skipping sunlight. Get some vitamin D. Negative thinking. Of course, there's the law of attraction. The more you think negative, the more it will attract to you. Taking too much sugar or taking too much salt is not good. So if you're feeling heavy and sluggish, maybe you're taking too much sugar or salt. Overworking, not relaxing because you are overworking. Sitting for long hours. So try to stand and walk. Bad body posture. Do not slouch. Spending before earning. Nah, it's not good. Excessive alcohol consumption. Living in an autopilot life. And last, always having the aggressive behavior. So kindly check your blood pressure. So I hope you take note all those 18 habits that are killing you slowly and as much as possible try to avoid them. Okay, now I would like to thank you guys for your time. Your effort is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. I hope you can craft the best possible research, developmental research you could. I believe in you. Thank you so much. See you in our next video.